Attention passionate Dallas, Cowboys. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Dallas Cowboys' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Dallas Cowboys fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Dallas, COWBOYSFANS. Let's get to the news all right. Folks, buckle up because what I'm about to tell you could be one of the most game-changing rumors we've seen this season. Word in the NFL circles is that the Dallas Cowboys are seriously considering making a bold move, trading for none other than Myles Garrett from the Cleveland Browns. Yes, you heard that right. Myles Garrett, the absolute force on the edge, the guy who's been a nightmare for offensive lines since he entered the league. And if this deal happens, it's not just about adding another superstar pass rusher. It's about transforming the entire identity of the Cowboys' defense heading into the stretch run towards the playoffs and potentially a Super Bowl berth. Now, let's break down what's going on behind the scenes. The Browns, sitting at a 3-10 record, are clearly in tank mode. Their focus right now is on rebuilding, especially their offense around Deshaun Watson, who's been underwhelming after a massive contract and high expectations. Cleveland, with a cap space of around $110 million, is prioritizing their youth movement, especially in the secondary after losing Newsome. So it makes sense they're open to trading Garrett, who's 29 but still playing at an elite level, a true game wrecker. His career stats are nothing short of legendary, over 102. 5 sacks, 328 pressures, and a career PFF pass rush grade of 91. For that's dominance, plain and simple. He's a 5-time All-Pro and has a pressure rate of nearly 15%, which is outstanding for an edge rusher. What makes this potential trade even more enticing for the Cowboys is Garrett's recent performance and his fit in their defensive scheme. Last season, Garrett was simply a force, tallying 85 pressures, ranking first among edge rushers and 15 sacks. He also contributed 68 run stops, and his overall PFF grade for the year was a staggering 96, which placed him at the very top of the league among edge defenders. His tackle for loss TFL number was 18 with 6 forced fumbles, and his run defense is rock solid at 93.2. Plus, he's a disruptive force with an EPA, expected points added, per play of plus 0.29, which indicates he's constantly wrecking plays in the backfield. Yes, he's also had some injury issues, particularly a shoulder injury, but nothing that's kept him from dominating when healthy. For the Cowboys, adding Garrett would be a seismic shift. Imagine him lining up alongside Micah Parsons. That duo would be terrifying for offenses. Parsons, who's already a star, would benefit enormously from Garrett's presence, freeing him up to make even more plays. This move could push the Cowboys' front seven from a respectable 36 sacks projected this year to upwards of 52 sacks. That's a 27% increase in pressures, making it near impossible for any quarterback to find comfort in the pocket. It would also significantly boost their run defense, which currently allows about 120 yards per game, but could drop closer to 90, forcing offenses into more predictable passing situations. Let's talk about the bigger picture here. This isn't just about sacks, it's about the mentality. Garrett's addition would ignite the Cowboys' pass rush, turning it into a real nightmare for opposing quarterbacks. The impact on the EPA versus the pass would be substantial, up by around 23%, giving Dallas a much better chance to dominate in key moments, especially in playoff crunch time. Remember, defenses win championships, and having a player like Garrett, who's been compared to the likes of J.J. Watt in his prime, could be the catalyst that elevates this team to Super Bowl contender status once again. Now, I know some of you might be wondering about the cost. The rumor is that Cleveland is asking for a first-round pick plus a third-rounder. That's a hefty price, but for a player of Garrett's caliber, it might be worth it, especially considering how much the Cowboys' front can benefit from his presence. And don't forget, Cleveland is in full rebuild mode, and they're probably looking to stockpile draft picks for a complete overhaul. They're also likely aware that Garrett's value is at an all-time high, and making this move could be a win-win for both sides if they can pull it off. What about the cap space? The Cowboys have around $50 million in cap room for next year, which is enough to absorb Garrett's contract, especially if they restructure some deals or create space through other roster moves. This kind of investment signals the Cowboys' serious intent to contend not just for a playoff spot, but for a deep run, possibly even aiming for their first Super Bowl since the 1990s. With Garrett, Micah Parsons, and the rest of their defensive stars, Dallas could have one of the most fearsome front sevens in the league, capable of wreaking havoc on both the pass and the run. Looking ahead, this move could also impact the NFL odds. Right now, the Cowboys are viewed as a strong contender, but with Garrett in the fold, their Super Bowl odds could jump from plus 2,000 to around plus 750, making them one of the hottest teams to watch in the postseason. His ability to perform in cold weather, playoff atmospheres, and high-pressure moments makes him an ideal X-factor. Plus, his presence would send a message to the rest of the league that Dallas is all in this year. It's a bold statement, but one that could pay off handsomely if they can make it happen. And let's not forget how this impacts the NFC East. The Eagles are still formidable, but with Garrett's addition, the Cowboys would have a serious edge on their division rivals. The Eagles' rushing attack, which averages 4 or 5 yards per carry, would be under even more pressure to perform against a Dallas front that's now equipped with a true game wrecker. This could tilt the division race in Dallas's favor, giving them the momentum they need to secure the top seed in the NFC. Of course, all of this hinges on whether Cleveland is willing to part with Garrett. The Browns are known for their cautious approach to trades, especially when it comes to star players, but the urgency to rebuild and the potential return could sway them. Cleveland's management might see this as the perfect opportunity to reset, acquire multiple draft picks, and focus on building a new core. Meanwhile, the Cowboys are likely to weigh the risk against the reward, knowing that adding Garrett could be the missing piece that transforms their defense into an unstoppable force. In conclusion, if this trade goes through, it would be one of the most impactful moves of the season, potentially reshaping the entire landscape of the NFC. The Cowboys would gain a game-changing talent, boosting their pass rush and overall defensive dominance. Garrett's presence could be the spark that ignites their Super Bowl ambitions, especially if he performs in the playoffs as he has throughout his career. This move would also send shockwaves through the league, making Dallas an even more formidable contender and possibly rewriting the narrative of this season's championship race. And now, Dallas Cowboys fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to US and TO, the Dallas Cowboys. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Dallas Cowboys news. Remember, guys, this is a team that's always fighting, always pushing, and always aiming for that coveted Super Bowl trophy. Keep the faith, stay loud, and let's see if this bold move becomes a reality. Because if it does, it might just be the start of a new era for the Dallas Cowboys, a dynasty in the making.